Our Heat insider, Ethan Skolnick, joining Lexus Sports Extra. We appreciate you as always, my man.
Good to be with you, Josh.
Big question going into game one of round two is the health of Jimmy Butler. He says that he's ready to go. Ethan, what's your concern level for him?
No concern level over Jimmy Butler. He's playing in game one. Watched him work out a little bit today after practice. He was making jump shots. He's fine. He would have actually played in another game in the Atlanta series if there had been one. He just tweaked the knee a little bit. Maybe something he has to deal with after the season, but for right now, Josh, he's fine.
We saw Victor Oladipo inserted into the lineup in Butler's absence. What do you envision his role to be this series?
He will have a role in this series, particularly at the beginning. No Kyle Lowry, so you're going to see Gabe Vincent as the starter in the series. But then you're taking a look at Victor Oladipo coming off the bench with Tyler Herro. One of the things that they've been trying to work out is the connection between Herro and Oladipo. They actually sat down about it before today's practice. Who's handling, who's not handling, who's playing off the ball. But Victor Oladipo is going to get minutes at the start of the series, and he'll have an opportunity to earn more minutes throughout the playoffs.
What about Kyle Lowry? We've seen him gone since game 3 of the first series. What do you expect from him?
No game 1. We don't anticipate that he'll play in game 2 either, okay? So they're going to be very cautious with this. It's a hamstring, and you've got a guy who's entering his late 30s. You don't want to take a chance with this and have him be out longer in the playoffs. So I don't actually think you'll see him in this series until they lose. I could see if they get up 3-0 in the series, there's no reason to play him in a game 4. I think you hold him out as long as you can. They won almost 3/4 of their games this season with Gabe Vincent as a starter. They can win with Gabe. Now that Oladipo's in the fold too, they've got plenty of guards. You miss Kyle down the stretch of close games, but they can get by in this series without him at the beginning.
We saw that in the game 5 clinching when we also know that Joel Embiid will miss the first 2 games of this series. How much does that help the Heat?
Well, helps him a lot. Obviously, you're talking about a top 3 MVP candidate this season. Even though Bam Adebayo has had some success against him over the years, we don't know when he's going to be back. The Heat don't know. Everything I've heard out of Philadelphia is that it's not really advisable for him to play in this series. This is a situation with the orbital bone being fractured. He could do some serious damage long term. So he is going to try to play. Everything I've heard is he is going to try to play with the mask, maybe even as soon as game 3. I know Woj reported that for ESPN. I think that's optimistic. I don't think you'll see Joel Embiid until very late in this series, if at all in this series. The Heat need to take advantage of it, get up 2-0, and make it not necessary for Embiid to get back and just let them go into the offseason.
With him out of the lineup, who do the Heat need to key on defensively?
Tyrese Maxie. I know everybody wants me to say James Harden. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say James Harden. I've seen James Harden in enough playoff series. And look, James Harden is not in great shape right now. He's also got to come down to South Florida for a couple of games. I don't think James is going to be in bed by 3 a.m., so we'll see how that works out. Tyrese Maxie hurt them a lot in Philadelphia. They hunted Tyler Herro late in that game, but one of the advantages that the Heat have now is Gabe Vincent didn't play in that game, Victor Oladipo didn't play in that game. So if they're hunting Tyler Herro defensively, Erik Spoelstra has options against Tyrese Maxie he did not have the last time.
Ethan, you correctly predicted round 1 of the playoffs, the Heat in 5 games. Put you on the spot. Prediction for round 2.
This is going to sound predictable. Heat in 5. I think it would have gone longer if Embiid was playing, but I really only see Philadelphia getting 1 game in this series. The Heat are relatively healthy with the exception of Lowry. I know they got some guys questionable, but they're all going to play. They got the home crowd in this series. I just don't think Harden can hurt them. And we know when Erik Spoelstra loads up against guards on defense, they don't do much. We saw that with Trae Young. He was a no-show in the first round. I think Harden will be mostly a no-show in this series. I'm going Heat in 5.
Ethan Skolnick, everybody, 5 Reasons Sports. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Josh.